how's it going, everybody? This is Slayers J, and welcome back to my mini-series of mods I don't load without and Space Engineers. Today, we're going to start off with a decoration pack by Eikester. I think it's called Eikester Deck Pack 1 and 2. I use these for a couple of different things. One is for piping. It's basically another type of conveyors. You can use it to help decorate, and it also you can use it to help decorate and make it look different and more industrial, kind of, to me anyway. That's how it feels. So for the most part, you still need regular conveyors, but you can have this in the wall and then this part sticking out, and then add all these pipes, and there's multiple different sizes and everything, and it just makes it to me, it makes it you can still transfer stuff to and from, and you can still enter it after you go here. You can still, if I was in that general area, I could pull stuff out. So it's it makes it a whole lot. I like it because it just gives you something new to do while you use piping. You can have more detail. It doesn't look as ugly and bulky as, to me, there's this. This looks ugly and bulky to me, but I just still know it serves its purpose depending on what you're doing. But with these small ones is, if you was building an underground tunnel connecting pipes together, you can put this in the same tunnel you're drilling, and you can still run through it in that same 1 block space, and you don't need to make it 2 blocks wide. So it just makes it so convenient for you go inside a tunnel and you can still fit inside the same tunnel that you're piping up to another section of your base or something. Or even if you were just having a battery room elsewhere, and you was trying to pipe up reactors to it. Basically a giant server room. That's the only reason why you'll have pipes in a server room, right? I think so. So that's one of the main things I use with that. Another one I use is actually, is the transformer box. And what I like about the transformer box is actually a battery. If I click on it, you see that it has 8 power cells. So it's basically a mini battery for large grid. Actually, I think there's one for small grid. 7. Yeah, it also fits on small grid. So it's basically another size battery that you can have on your vehicles or in your bases. But you can use them especially in a red or something, to have it look more of a transformer box, you would in you would anyway, in a real world house or something like that, or power plant, have transformer boxes everywhere. That's what I like them for. And yeah, that's about it for Eikesters. There are other stuff in here, and I'll use it depending on the situation. If I was I'll make a gym or a lounge area. He even has industrial doors, and there's another shower. The railings are nice too. Yeah, but it's a nice little pack, and I use it quite a lot. The next mod I want to talk about is Digi's paint gun, which is a paint gun that allows you to hit blocks you couldn't normally get, which I don't think I really have a good example of that on any of this. Actually, I might. As you can see, it's highlighting green for whatever I'm trying to hit. But let's say I wanted to hit this one right on the other side of this wheel. And then let's say if it was hard to get to elsewhere. Like with the normal paint, it's hard to hit it. But with the tool, you can get more precise and get it quite easy. And then you can change the colors by scrolling. And then if you want to change the skin, you hold shift and rotate, and that's how you change the skins. But right now I'm in creative mode. Let's go back to no skin. But you'll typically need one of these has the chemicals in it. You'll typically need, where is it? The paint chemicals, which is made from gravel. So it's another use for gravel, because gravel is basically useless besides in paint chemicals and reactor components. Nothing else really uses gravel, I don't think, unless they change something else again. No. So that's another way you can use gravel, unless you also add like a concrete mod, which, is there concrete on here? Yeah, there's concrete. If you wanted to add more of like a concrete mod, then that would be another way to use gravel as well. But I think that's it for Digi's paint gun. And next, I want to talk about the Deluxe Needs mod, which is an awesome mod because it brings more survival aspects into the game. And what I mean is, like, it makes you like you have to eat and drink in order to survive. Because in the base game, that's not there. It's like you don't need it. So you got a crop grower, and that's only large grid. You got a water recycler that, if you have it connect up to your main source where you put all your ice and stuff, this will gobble all the ice up. So I tend to keep it, if it's on the same grid, I don't have it piped up. I'll have all the food stuff piped up together, but I will not pipe up this to the main structure. I will not do it, because I'm not trying to constantly have to go back and get ice. Well, you will constantly have food. I mean, constantly have water, but that's about it. So this takes regular ice, or this makes these drinking packs, and it also turns in like dirty water into clean water and turns some into like organic material and stuff like that. The hydroponics is what it sounds like. Like you can grow hydroponics is one of the ways that you can grow like algae, and I think that's basically it. That's mainly what I use it for. I mainly use the hydroponics to grow algae, and algae takes gravel and what else? I'm going to talk about it as we go into the food sequencer. Algae takes gravel, food, nutrition, and I think organic, but I don't think so. I think it just takes water, gravel. It takes water, gravel, and nutrition solution. So you would start out by going here. Once you had a bit of like organic saved up, you would go into the food processor, which is this thing right here. I have a smaller version over here. Because I'm in creative mode, they're not in their default colors. I believe this one's typically orange, this one's blue, this one's green, this one's gray actually. And I don't really use this one, which is the open cage one, because it's less efficient than this one, and it's also smaller. That one's smaller, but this one can do the same thing as this hydroponics, except for I believe this one's faster. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. But one big difference between large grid and small grid, you can't get this one, and you can't get the crop grower, but you do have the food processor, the hydroponics, the water recycler, and emergency rations, which can make, if you go to emergency rations, if I'm actually in the grid, emergency rations can make emergency rations and emergency water, which is basically water. It's just very, very slow. But I tend to do this in a ratio. I'll do like 10 water for 1 emergency ration, and I'll keep doing that back and forth. So, because you're always gonna run out of water faster, but emergency rations only takes you to 50%. So, and there's a couple other foods that take you to 50%. There's emergency rations take you to 50. I think scent food only takes you to 50, and I think space moon bar only takes you to 50. But I think so. But I tend to grow the algae and turn it into tofu, and I tend to eat the tofu. And then if I really want to get special, I'll turn it into like that's different right there, the tofu dinners, or even let's go back into the food processor. If I really want to get fancy, turn it into tofu dinners, or not so scrambled bacon, or not so beef burgers and fries. Like, you can find the animal meat and solid meat in the unknown signals. So if you scout those out a lot, you'll find animal meat. You'll find all the meat, potatoes, carrots, and you'll find all that stuff in there. Or you just get seeds, and then you can turn the seeds into using the crop grower to get the material, to get the actual product. And I believe the crop grower can turn it to, it can turn it into seeds. It can turn it into regular, or it can turn it into seeds. So you have a choice. And you can also make fertilizer to help grow it faster. And then put a couch here. And the couch is for if you want to get above 100% for food and water. You go into the couch and you turn it. Let me just sit down on the couch. Go on the couch and then you turn it into noms. And what that will do is it will increase your food and water to 125. And I believe if you do something similar to like the toilet, it'll increase your stamina, because there's 3 bars that show up on your screen. The top one, it's not on this one right now because this is a creative world, not a survival world. So you'll see food at the top, water second, and then the third one is stamina. So when you're actually running, you actually lose stamina. So if you create like a toilet, if you make a toilet, and I forget what you actually have to name it, but that you can also increase that stamina to 125 as well. So that's it for the Daily Needs mod. There are a couple other things within that mod actually. Do I have them? No, I don't. There's like a power generation and also you can also make like distillery stuff. So there's a distillery version, so you can, so like if you was making like a hotel or something like that and you wanted like a bar or something, you can get real fancy and have it so you can have like actual like drinks and stuff as well, which is pretty cool, I think anyway. The next mod I want to talk about is high powered spotlights, and that's what these are right here. High powered spotlights, the range is a whole lot further than regular spotlights. Let me go in here. I'm actually going to turn off the two high powered, and let's add a regular spotlight so I can show the difference. And let's go in here. A regular spotlight has a radius of 120. Let's look at the high powered. It has a radius of 480. And that is crazy. So you can see twice as far. You can already see the difference between me turning on those high powered spotlights versus the regular spotlight. So I will use these for help seeing in front, seeing on the ground. I feel if I did this in a flying vehicle, especially if it had to land using a landing gear and stuff like that. But yeah, let's get rid of that. But yeah, that is the high power spotlights. Everything else works the same except for the range is crazy. The last thing I kind of want to talk about is the defensive shields. Defensive shields I like it because there are multiple things that you can do with the defensive shields. Let's see, can I find it? No, that's not it. No, that's not it. It's by Death Star. It's like defensive shields, like you have this shield controller that you can put on a ship or a large red ship or a station. You got, but this is the same thing. It's just there's two different versions of it. And the small version is right here for the small grid ship. That's the controller. Then you got the emitter. There's two different types of emitters. There's the small compact one, and then there's the one that looks like, and the one that looks like this. So you could have that one on your ship instead, but the ship emitter needs to be exposed in order for it to work, because there's been issues where if it's not exposed, it's not going to function properly. So I just typically follow the instructions that I see on the Steam Workshop page about the shield stuff and go from there. There are like modulators and enhancers. I don't really play with those too much. I just stick with the basic and use that. But I believe that is it for the shield. It's like, hold on. You can also let me learn real quick. Do control K to go into the my terminal, so I can kind of go into the. Let's go. Yeah, let's look at the ship. You see, since I added that extra emitter, it puts it as a backup. So it's a backup. So if this one breaks, this one will take over. But you can select the power and megawatt. And with the after you select the power scale, you can control how much power goes where. Basically, how much goes to like the health of the shield versus the charge rate, if I'm not mistaken. You can change the size of it, how well it fits inside your vehicle. You can fortify it. I tend to leave that checked. You can have it so that it hides. You can have it so it can ignore the batteries, but why would you? Or would you? That is the question. But you can see as when you get close, it pops up with the little gear icon, and that lets you know that you're safe within the shield. But you can also turn the reflective on, reflective off. Let's go in here. Control. You can have it on low reflective, high reflective. I leave it on low. You can even have it on medium, have different tints. Let's put it back to low. You can have it always on. That way you constantly see it, but that can mess up your view depending on what you're doing. So most people, including me, leave it on invisible and hit. So you only see it from the direction that it's being hit at. But if I go here, once it's starting to get damaged, you can see it pop up. And no actual damage has come of this little drone, even though you see bullet holes. But yeah, that's the defensive shields, and that's what I tend to use it for. And I hope you liked the video, because if you did, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, install that notification bell for more weekly content on this channel. And I stream over on Twitch. The link's down in the description below. Come over, hang out. I stream every Tuesday, Fridays, and Saturdays. Times is down below. It's also on my Twitch channel. Come on, hang out. I do stream Space Engineers every Friday at the moment. So come on over as we explore and test new mods, or just try to build stuff that I typically have trouble. Not trouble, but I'm trying to grow and do more stuff like this, which would be awesome. But yeah, I hope to see you on over there. And don't forget, if you had anything to add regarding anything that I've discussed in this video, don't forget to leave it in the comment section. Or if you had any just suggestions or stuff that you think that I should probably try to cover or something like that, leave it down in the comments. I'd love to hear from you, and I hope to see you in the next video. See you next time.